This is something I've never done on my YouTube channel before. This is a gentleman local. He's from Nashville, about 30 miles away from me, up here in Springfield. And he actually called me about a week ago, and I'm not really doing any work for him. He's a DIY guy. I am going to help him. I'm going to do his valve job for him and stuff. But when he called me on the phone, he said that he originally had started porting the heads himself and just wanted me to give him a few tips. And I'm sure there's a lot of you know I'm very busy, but the whole purpose of this channel is DIY. So you guys can take a look at what I do and you can do it. Well, this is somebody right here that literally took it to heart. And he pretty much ported the head based on all the stuff I had showed him on it. But that's not really spectacular. What is spectacular is the tools that this man used, his technique, how he done it, and virtually didn't spend anything on your tool. What did you spend total on tools, everything to be able to do this work to your head? This is Tom, by the way.
My name's Tom. Yeah, I basically had most of the tools laying around, a little die grinder kind of thing from Harbor Freight.
Right, that is a three-inch cut-off saw, right, with the top piece removed.
Yep.
And, and a real cheap Dremel tool.
The Dremel with the grinding bits.
And one of the most impressive tools.
Just a hole saw.
A hole saw. He ported the head with a hole saw and the cutting saw and some stones on a Dremel. And I mean, if I hadn't have been here to see and have him explain how he did all this, I would not have believed it in the quality of work. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to bring the camera over and we're going to show with these tools how he did it, how he cut it, and the texture and what he done. Now keep in mind, it's not a state-of-the-art thing. But what's important is here, he looked at the video, saw the area that mattered to remove the material to pick up the flow. He achieved his goal, and if it ain't the prettiest thing in some areas, that's fine. But what's impressive is what he's done here is going to pick him up easily 20 horsepower to 30, and in that range of foot-pounds of torque with almost nothing that he's done. It just goes to show you a lot of that shining and polishing, which y'all heard me over and over. It don't buy you nothing. This man took to heart what I said about it's about raw material removal, getting it out and getting it blended in shape is what this is all about. So we're going to look at how he done it and what it is. That's all this video. This is for you DIY guys out there. I was just very fortunate enough that this man lived close enough so that I could put what he done on film and show y'all how he did it, which 25 years of doing it, I've never seen anybody quite do it quite like this, and I'm not so sure I could. But buddy, that must have been some hard, brutal work. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the camera close up on Tom and see what we got. First order of business, let's look at how Tom did the combustion chamber mod, because this is an area here that it ain't the key thing that impressed me, but it's a pretty good one. All right, I'm going to zoom in and show you. He put the gasket on, the factory gasket, and he done what I show, which is scribe the line using the dowel pin, but the main thing is staying inside the line where you can barely see the line. Now, this head, like a lot of them, has a lot of core shift. A lot of them will have, like I said, the core shift, and what we got here on this deal is the center head was core shifted pretty good. Now on the exhaust side, there's my line. He's probably got 1/8 of an inch of material that he had to cut out and pull in and straighten to that line. Also all the way up in here. Now the next thing is, now on this side, the line ain't that far away. But when you come over here and look at the exhaust side on this one, well, guess what you got? You got a similar situation. Look how much thickness and how much meat he would have to cut out there. Also on the intake bowl area, there's a little bit to cut out, but what's impressive that he done was he went down to the bottom like a pick. Let me try to demonstrate how he did this. he takes this hole saw right here, and he's going in the bottom and doing a little bit of a dig. I'm sure, what, Tom, you had all kinds of different diameters of these you was using when you was doing it?
Well, I got that one shaped down on just a grinding rock to get it to fit sort of in this radius, and I just figured I'll just go ahead and pull it whichever way and just be careful not to come off of it.
Right. So in other words, when you got in there, you was real careful about keeping it like dry firing a bow and arrow, where you could stay connected and it wouldn't. Right. That's the key, because if like bouncing, if you're in there grinding with a burr and you start that bouncing where you're not keeping it fed, you can really mess something up real fast.
Holding my
kind of watch your hands so that readers can get it over here. Hold on. Show you how he went in here and done it. Now I'm in position where I can zoom. Go ahead, Tom. Explain how you did this here and what you done again.
Well, this here 3-inch cutter, like Harbor Freight, and they come about that big around. I took the shroud off. I used just a stone or something, got it small enough to where I got in here, and I was just real careful to just go up and down and just kind of feather around. But I figured this here would be a pretty good way to take and remove most of the material, because it's got a curve to where it's not too small, not too big, and you could kind of blend it and then start feathering it in and whatnot. And
so just like my burrs that I use, I know you, when you watch my videos, you see how I emphasize that burr size means a lot. It ain't just having an egg. I might have a 7/16, a 3/8. The size of the burr allows you to grind in certain areas. So basically you're using that same principle on the disc by cutting it or getting it down to where you can feather it and do what you want to do with it.
I just got it small enough, and I don't have all them burrs, and like I said, I'm just a DIY guy, and I just wanted to try to make something rusty run good. And so I just got in there and I just started fooling with these tools, and then I used this here just to Dremel with the stone.
Alright, now on the bowl work, did you use this saw in the bowls to do that?
No, in the bowl.
Okay, so let's talk about the bowls, how you went in there, because this bowl job you did is incredible, along with the guide work, how you bullet nosed the guide and shaped it. That was really impressive. We'll get some shots of that in a minute. Tell us how you did the bowls.
The bowls, I used a Dremel once again, and a cut-off wheel.
Okay, so you're going back to the right.
And I got these, and I was working here. I was just really looking. I didn't know what I was doing a whole lot, but I just knew just getting some of this rough casting out was
right. The bottom angle where it dips and the cat you're straightening that out.
See, this kind of goes in there, and you can get it to roll in like this pretty easily. And if you want something bigger, and of course this didn't fit in the exhaust hole, but I ground it down to where it fit in there good, and then I just took this attachment, put it on there. You can get all kind of different sizes.
All right, one question I want to ask you on this. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just gassed here. I've never seen anything. Didn't you say that when you cut them, it also served as a go, no-go gauge of sorts?
Yeah.
That once you got it that way, you could keep your consistency. Explain how you did that.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. I mean, once I got it kind of roughed out with this small one to where this almost fit in there, then when I knew that it almost fit in there, I took this and put this wheel on here and just kind of went straight down, come up, straight down, come up. Did that one. That way I knew that I had a real close circle in here.
I can tell y'all that I took my fingers and felt I haven't snapped it yet. I am going to check it, but I can tell you all that he's got this thing incredibly close. All right, just for example, we seen what he did on the combustion chamber. Right? We see how much thickness, some up to 1/8 of an inch, he had to cut. Let's go over to his other head and let's take a look at using that hole saw on the chamber, how close he got them damn lines to the chamber. A chamber that he's modified. Now what the camera don't do justice, you would really think that this is edgy and sharp where he went in there with that saw, but I'm telling you now, there is some sand roll used. Did you buy the sand rolls at Harbor Freight?
Yeah.
God, this is a Harbor Freight head right here, buddy.
Yep.
Anyway, you can see where, man, the line is right there. He did not go past it. You can see traces of the line as he goes. Now, one thing that scared me was he told me that he had his valve that he put in there to protect the seat, and I know what he's talking about. Sometimes you have to take that valve out to be able to get to the material to cut it, but it don't look like he damaged it very much. I'm going to do the valve job on the head, which I'll be able to tell, but anyway, he's not got these big ridges and big welt cuts in it. He's got it pretty good, you can tell. Mainly when you're porting them, what most people do is they'll scribe on that line at this angle right here. Okay, they'll come, sorry guys, let me get my camera back. They'll come in at an angle like this. That's incorrect. You have to come and dig inward. So you come at the bottom and dig and pull up. If you don't do that, you're not unshrouding the valve. You're just helping the airflow blend out a little bit. He did a true combustion chamber unshroud job by taking this piece of this saw, the bigger one, and digging in at the bottom and chunking it out and cut. He told me on this one head right here at this point, he's got almost 30 hours on it of grinding using this and the Dremel tools and stuff. So now you get the picture of how he laid that chamber and how close he got the lines. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pan over here and try to get both of these heads so you can see some stuff. And here we are, like I said, you can look at the differences in them and how he opened it up. He did a real good job on the spark plug, pulling that in, polishing that, moving that out. You can tell the gouge that's inside here. Now he went in here and pulled this back dramatically. You can see the material here where he went in there and ground that out, come up. He really took the meat out good right here. And then this ridge, it appears that he took this and you moved that whole ridge back, didn't you?
Yeah, I just kind of
that whole section.
Yeah, I just started cutting to where I knocked that little hump off. I didn't know what that was all about, really.
That is a casting mark, like a production mark when they're casting it, that maybe they pick off of when they're breaking them out of the molds. That is not a performance or modification thing. It is some kind of casting indicator of when they're casting the head and they take them out, that maybe they reference off of that or something.
And I just took it into point to what you said about having everything being smooth in here and no ridges, and so
right, on the chambers only, on the chambers.
Yeah, and so I just went ahead and cut that and cut the spark plug boss and rounded it a little bit.
Sure did.
Just like you showed me on your videos, and just kind of feathered it in. Didn't go too far with it because I didn't want to change the CC, I guess, too. I didn't know if...
well, I guarantee you this much. You have increased the CCs off what you've done about 2 to 3. But it's okay, because here's the thing. What most people don't get, and I've tried to tell them, you can't compress what ain't there. And by opening this up and letting the air in, it's going to make more difference than having a smaller chamber with higher compression. Because if you're only getting 70% cylinder fill, and even if you're running 10 to 1, I know people that say, and I know that they do, oh, I'm running 11 to 1 compression on the street on pump gas. Yeah, you might be running it mechanically, but how well is it breathing to fill that cylinder to make that a true statement? Okay, so anyway, so you lost 2 or 3 cc's, it don't matter. You're going to be much better off with it like this right here, letting the air and fuel come in. Alright, so I just wanted to show the close-ups of this chamber right here, what he's done, and pull it. You can just see on the intake valve area, Lord of mercy, I mean, it's just plain as day, even sitting here with the camera. That valve is almost touching the wall on the stock combustion chamber on the intake, and then look, you've got a damn 1/4 of an inch before it does it over here. And you've got a mask shape to it. I just noticed that. The shape difference, let me point that out to the guys. The shape difference here, get the best amount of zoom I can, it balances it. Alright. This is flat, basically. You went in there with your grinding and you made a shape to that. You made a contour and a hump, and you did it the same. That was intentional, right?
Yeah, I just followed the casting marks and just kind of just followed the casting marks and blended it in. Well, get the casting marks out.
But this is almost flat. There's just a little. See, you increased and moved that line down to where it would utilize the valve. I don't know. Did you even know you was doing that when you did it?
I just figured when the intake come open, it would come around, spin around over here, fire, and then go out the exhaust. And I was just looking at flow, just kind of seeing how water would maybe flow.
Oh yeah, tell us what you did on that. Did you take a garden hose and shoot water in it to look at how the water flows through it, or what did you use?
No, I didn't. I just went ahead and really just removed the casting and just kind of just was using my own imagination on what would happen in here. Think about what's happening in here.
There you go. You said, sir, Tom, you said the whole key. You just don't go in there with a grinder, which is what, about 70% of the people that try to do this on their own. Your thought process has to be like what you said. What is going on? Is the air coming here? You've got to have that. Then you start seeing something and you'll see a shape.
Yeah.
That's what you did, wasn't it?
Yep.
There you go.
Just started, I don't know. It was just something that just come to me, I reckon. I don't know. This is my first one I done, and I seen Tony's videos, liked them a lot, and I just kind of took to heart what he had to say and cut down some of this stuff in here.
Oh, we're fixing to get into that now. Let's turn the heads around and show them what you did to the bowls and how you bullet nosed the guide. I can't wait to hear this one.